Hey everyone, welcome to another video. This week I'm going to be showing you how I edit a photo using the Adobe Lightroom mobile app on my Google Pixel 4 smartphone. So quite often I'll be using the desktop version of Lightroom, so that's Lightroom Classic on my iMac, and I'll use that when I'm taking photos with my Nikon Z7 or D7500. But if I'm out and about and I don't have my camera with me, I quite often take a photo using my Pixel 4 smartphone, and if I'm in a remote area and I don't have access to the computer, I'll even edit it on the fly using the Lightroom mobile app. And it's a really powerful tool, it works really well, it's got most of the features that you get in the desktop version. So what I'm going to do today is show you a photo I took using the Pixel 4 and go through my process of how I edited it to the final version, which I'll put on screen now. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is open up Lightroom, and this is the image here that we're going to use. So I found this strange, mysterious pyramid bunker type thing the other day when I was out on a walk, and I thought it was just really interesting, a really interesting image. It just looks so out of place amongst the trees there. And I'm not going to tell you what it is because I think it just takes away from the mystery of, of the image. I think that's what kind of makes the image. But yeah, that's what I like about this image. It's quite mysterious and unusual. So I want to emphasize that and make it more mysterious. So the first thing I'm going to do is crop this image. So we'll go down here at the bottom, click on crop, and there's not a lot to crop, but I'm just going to get quite tight. I want to centralize it so that the stone walls, if you like, are just nicely positioned at the front there. It's going to be quite a central composition. There's not really much I can change. The way I took the photo, it's quite central anyway. And a lot of my photos use a central composition. I think for this one it does work particularly well because you've got that triangular shape and the point is in the centre. So it's quite a powerful composition being centrally aligned like that. I think it just needs straightening slightly, so I'm just going to adjust that. I think about there will do. And let's just get that a bit more central. I found that using my index finger on the screen works better than using my thumb. I don't know why. When I use my thumb, when I just take my thumb away, it just moves slightly or does something that I don't want, whereas if I do it with my index finger, I don't get that additional movement after I've lifted my finger up. So when you've got it where you want it, cropped how you like, click the tick in the top right corner. And now the first things I'm going to do is edit the colour. And I want this to be a black and white image. I decided that black and white would just work best for this. It'd be quite moody and just add to that mysterious feeling. So we'll click on the colour tab at the bottom and we'll click on black and white there, and we're in black and white. So the first thing I'm going to do is edit the temperature. So we just, even though it's black and white, we can still edit the temperature, and then that'll affect how the colours are represented in black and white. So I'm going to change that to around about 5326, that'll do. And from there, well, I'll just change the tint as well. Maybe just to about there, not very much at all. And then we'll click on mix here. So what we can do with the mix is just click on each individual colour, and then we can adjust the brightness values of that in how it translates to black and white. So I don't need to change the red or orange. If we just tap on the screen, we can see there's not much red or orange in the image. So I'm going to go straight to yellow, and I'm going to adjust that. I'm going to go plus 15. Because if we look at the image, we've got quite a lot of yellow in the stonework there, and also this foliage at the front, in front of the pyramid. And I want that to really stand out, so I've just boosted that so that those yellows look a bit brighter and a bit whiter against, so that the foliage in front of the pyramid just looks a bit brighter. Then with the green, there's a little bit of green in the pyramid itself. It's quite dark, but it is a dark green. And I just want to bring that down so it just darkens that area, and again it just makes that yellow foliage pop a little more. So I'll just go to about -25. I don't think we need to adjust the cyan, but we are going to adjust the blue because the sky's blue and I want that darker. So I'm going to come down to about -34 with the sky, or the blue rather, and purple and magenta we can leave those, so we'll click done. Okay, so that's most of the colour work done. We're going to click on light now. So this is where we do all the kind of exposure edits. We can make things darker or lighter, or the contrast and things. And I'm actually going to start by clicking auto just to the left of the light tab. That just gives a good base to start working from. I'm going to bring down the exposure just a little bit. I don't want it too bright. Like I said, I want it mysterious looking. I'm going to put the contrast up a little bit. Again, that's just going to separate, say, the foliage from the pyramid, and just create a bit more drama, a bit more contrast. And then the highlights, they're probably okay. Might just come down just a touch more. The shadows, I'm going to boost those slightly because I want a little bit more detail in those black areas. And the whites, I'm going to boost those as well. This is just creating a little bit more contrast again. And the blacks, I think the blacks are okay. So the next thing I want to do is go to the effects tab. And this is where I can do things like add sharpening through texture or clarity. I can change the dehaze settings, which makes colours, in this case it's black and white, but it'll make things look bolder, or we can go the other way and make things look more hazy and a bit more washed out. And we can also add a vignette. So I'm not going to change much here, I don't think. The clarity is already on 8 from the auto. I don't really want to go much higher than that. I'm probably just going to leave that around the same. And same with the texture. I think there's enough texture in the image already. We don't need to overdo that. Dehaze, we could go for that washed out look if we want it to look kind of old, but I'm just going to leave it where it is. I don't think we need to adjust that one. And what I'm going to do now though is just go to the selective edits, and I'm going to change some parts of the image but not all of the image. And you can do this in the desktop version as well, but it's quite powerful to be able to do it on mobile. So if we click on selective here at the bottom, we can click the blue plus up here, and this allows us to either use a brush, a radial tool, or a linear gradient. I'm going to go for the linear gradient, which is this one, and then I can just draw down, and that red area is the area that's going to get affected when I start making changes. And what I want to do with this is just further bring down the highlights, because I want the sky to look darker. So I'm going to come down to about -44, and that just takes some of the distraction away from the bright sky. And I'll also bring the whites down a bit as well, down to about -30. So once that's done, we can click the tick in the top right, and you can see there's quite a lot of changes now from the original image, and it's really starting to come together. And in fact, it's almost done. All we're going to do now is go back to effects, and I'm going to put quite a heavy vignette on it. I'm going to bring that right down to about -45, and that just really helps to add that kind of mysterious look to the image. It really pulls you in. You focus on the pyramid shape, and you've got the walls of the walkway at the bottom. They're just like a leading line bringing you into that pyramid, but the vignette kind of surrounds it and just adds extra drama and pulls you in. So that's the final image. So there you go. I hope you found that useful. Just a quick walkthrough of my process when using the Adobe Lightroom mobile app. As you can see, it's really quick, really powerful. Like I said, you get most of the features that you do with the desktop version of the Lightroom application, and you can get some great results. And that's it for this one. I'm going to keep it quite brief, but I do have some more post-processing videos on my channel, so if you like this kind of thing, go check those out. This is my first one using the mobile Lightroom app, but I do have some more with the Lightroom desktop application and also some Photoshop stuff as well, so yeah, go check those out. I'm not always doing this kind of thing, I'm often out and about, but we've been in lockdown. But from next week, I'm hoping they're lifting some of the restrictions, and I'm really hoping that from next week I'm going to be out and about again, and we're going to do some really cool videos doing landscapes and wildlife and macro and that kind of stuff. So if you like that kind of stuff, yeah, please subscribe and please join me again for that. You can click the big red button down here or on my face over here, and there's a new video every Sunday morning, 10 AM UK time. So I hope you'll join me for the next one, and that's it for now, so bye for now.